This year, the Topographic Maps Lab is being done online in Google Earth Pro using digital maps instead of paper maps. I'm going to show you example station 1, Massanutten near Front Royal. These points are free. You get points for just following along and completing the sample. To start the lab, you have to go to this folder where we stored the electronic maps or the digital maps. This will open the folder where the maps are stored for the lesson. To obtain the sample map or any of the other station maps, you right click on it and then download it, and you'll see it drop to the left corner. You may see this you probably will see this pop up, and when that happens, click continue. It'll finish downloading, and now you can drag it to your desktop or just get it out of your downloads folder. Close the folder or just drop it to the bottom and double click the file that you just downloaded. It's going to fly you to the map. The Front Royal map is already loaded. It's just too small to see so far. There it is. We don't need that little diamond in the middle, so on the left side we can turn off that label. Now let's take a look at the assignment and see what we're supposed to do with this. It says we're going to search for Mudhole Gap District 4, Virginia. The easy way to do this is to copy that and go over to the search window in Google Earth and just paste it in and then search. Hit the search button and it will fly you to it. Now this is too close in, things are a little blurry, so we're going to back it out, and the instructions say to back it out until you reach a point where you can see the Shenandoah River in the corners, the North Fork on the upper left and the South Fork on the lower right. Zoom in just a little bit, there you go, and then move it so that Mudhole Gap's kind of in the middle. We can see the end of the mountain. Okay, so let's see what we do now. We've got the assignment. It says, what's the contour interval of this map? Well, sometimes the map will just tell you at the bottom, but it won't do it in this case because of the way it's clipped around the edges. So we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. And the easiest way to do it is to find two labeled contour lines like this 500 and this 400 close together, and then count the number of intervals in between. So from this 400 to this 500, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So if you take 100 and divide it by 5, you get 20. So it's like getting $20 bills from the ATM. 5 20s and 100. Okay, so let's excuse me. So this contour interval, how much difference in elevation there is between each line, is 20. So we go to the document. I've already typed it in here to save time. It's the 20, and it's 20 meters. It's not feet. If I said feet, I was incorrect. This map has measurements in meters. There's an easy way to tell that, by the way. I'll show you. So how can I tell that this map's in meters? I'm hovering over the 500 right here, but look down here in the bottom, right below Google. You'll see this elevation changing here. It says like 713 feet right now. When I put it up here on top of 500, it does not say 500. It says 1,650 feet. So the map is in meters, but Google Earth is using feet. Okay, but we're working on the map, so we're going to use that. Okay, and so let's go back and see what the next question is. Number two is, what's the elevation at the top of Shaw Gap four-wheel drive road? And I see that right there in the map already. I think you did too. Right nearby there is Shaw Gap. Okay, and the road is this dashed line. And when it gets here to the saddle, the top of the mountain, what's that elevation? Well, we can zoom in a little bit, and you can see that the 500, the darker 500 line runs right here, and it looks like there's only one more contour line above it, one of these thinner lines. So that would be 520 feet approximately. So what you would do, I'm sorry, not 520 feet, 520 meters. So you would come back to here and type in 520 meters. Okay, then we go back and actually we look at the document and see if it wants us to do something else here. Okay, it says in the search window we're going to type in Caroline Furnace Lutheran Camp, but you don't actually have to type it. You can copy it and go over here, take out Mudhole, and paste in this one, and oh, there it is, and then click search and it will fly us to Caroline Furnace Lutheran Camp. But once again, we're zoomed in way too close, and you notice right now it says that we are only 4,467 feet above the ground down here in the bottom. We want to be about 39,000 feet above the ground. So we're going to scroll out. Oh, there's 40, 33, 40,000, 41,000. That's good. Okay, and we have arrived at Caroline Furnace. And what else does it say to look at? We zoomed out, and it says to put a pin at the 400-meter contour line where it crosses the Duncan Hollow stream. It says drop another yellow pin where we cross the 700-meter line crosses the stream. Let's do that. So there's Duncan Hollow. I want to see all of it. Okay, so there's Caroline Furnace, and there's Duncan Hollow, and Strickler Knob over here. And I need to find the 400 contour line. Well, I see one over here, but it's on the other side of the ridge. I want to find one over here on the hollow. I don't see it, but I do see a 500, and I know that streams flow in valleys, and that means that you would go from 500 downhill to get to that stream. And it seems that there's a dark line here, a thick line running right here. And since they're 5 apart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that must be 400 because it's below 500 in that valley. Okay, so I'm going to grab my point. I'm going to call this 400 meters. Don't click OK yet, because see, that's flashing. We have to move it to the right spot. And then we can click OK, and it will label it for us. Now we have to find the 700. This will be pretty easy because we now know we're just counting the thick lines as they cross the stream. So there's the first one, that's 400. And then when do we get another one crossing the stream? It's going to be the 500, and the 500 crosses right there. And then the next one that crosses is the 600, and it's right there. And the next one is the 700 right there. Okay, so I want to put the next pin there. And I grab the pin, and I call it 700. And I drag it to the right spot. And then I click OK, and it's labeled 700. Now the instructions say that it wants me to measure the distance between the two pins. Use the distance tool to measure the distance between the 2 points. Okay, so, and it wants it in kilometers. So I'm going to go back to the map. I'm going to click on the distance tool, the ruler, and it's in kilometers. That's good. If yours is in meters, and it might start out in meters, change it to kilometers. Park the window out of the way. And then see how it's a box that's got a crosshairs in it? We're going to click at the 400, and then we're going to just lift your finger up and drag the mouse. You don't have to press to do this. You just drag it. And then when you get to the 700, you click again. Click right on that contour line where it crosses the stream. And what does it say? 5.73 kilometers. So you go back to the document and type in 5.74. You're going to be a little off. Everybody's going to have a slightly different answer because we can't be too careful. But as long as it's in that ballpark, you're good. Now, what's the difference in elevation? This is question number 4. What's the difference in elevation in meters? Well, this is easy because 400 was the first pin and 700 is the next pin. So that's 300 meters. And then we have to calculate the average slope. The average slope is going to be meters divided by kilometers. Well, that's going to be 300 meters divided by 5.74. And you're going to get something close. If you divide 300 by that, you're going to get something close to 53 meters per kilometer. Okay? And then we go down here and we read this little story. Now, what's going on here? Oops, sorry about that. All right, it now says Dr. Sturm's great-great-great-grandfather buried 5 kilograms of Confederate gold coins near Strickler Knob. A handwritten note to Dr. Sturm's great-great-great-grandmother gave only one clue. Walk straight east from where the 700-meter contour crosses Duncan Hollow, a number of meters equal to 5 times the average slope of Duncan Hollow. So we have to multiply the average slope by 5. So what is 5 times 53? Well, the answer is 265 meters. So we go back to the map. It says we have to go east of the 700. So we're going to get our measuring tool and we're going to zoom in, change it to meters, and we're going to zoom in on that 700 and we're going to click and drag to the right because the right is due east. 265, close enough right there, and that's the point right there at the end of that line. How do we mark it? We then go up here and grab the pin and call it your name. So I'm going to call it John P. Gold, and you're going to type your name, your first and last name, and gold, and then drop that pin where it needs to be at the end of that line, and then you hit OK, and you are set to go to the next step. So I've zoomed back out so I can see all 3 of my points. There they are. I just turned off the map over here on the left, and it's time to draw a profile. The way you do that is you go up to this point tool up here that has 3 dots and it says add a path. You click that and we're going to call this EX1 profile. Okay, now don't click OK yet because you haven't drawn it yet. So what we'll do is we'll just move this out of the way. We're going to draw this between Hamburg and Mount Airy. So you click once on Mount Airy and then just lift your finger up and move the pointer over to Hamburg and click again, and it makes the line. Okay, and now what you do is you bring this back up, bring it back up, and then you click OK to finish it, and your line is there. And then over here on the right you'll see that it says EX1 profile on the left. On the left it says EX1 profile. Under your points, right click it and choose show elevation profile. And what you're going to get now is this. Okay, and so you can see all 3 of your points and your profile, and you can read the numbers and elevations off of the profile, and you're going to take a screen capture of this with Snagit and put it in the document in the box where it says to do so, and that is right down here. Put the screen capture in this box right here. Okay, make sure you label the gold coins with your name because that's how we'll know it's your screen capture. Okay, thank you.